I just posted a video because I was just so mad. Good morning, Lexi. How are you, my love? I'm so freaking upset. I'm just so upset. I Nobody asked me about inductions today. Nobody, please do not ask me how to induce. Every video that I have on natural inductions, I'm about to delete it because I can't. I really can't. Was it easy for you to get postpartum clients when you first started? When I first started, I was really only doing births. I wasn't really doing postpartum, which I feel like most people start that way but I think it should be the opposite. You should start with postpartum because then you can still work a job and you can make a schedule when you're doing postpartum support. When you're doing births, it's kind of harder to predict when your client is going to give birth, so it's harder to actually have a job too. You're doing your training this weekend. Who are you training with? I never did like a specific postpartum training. It just came with the trainings that I did for birth and also just from the ancestral knowledge that I have from my grandmas and stuff and my aunts and my mothers. What food can I eat to make my babies gain more weight while pregnant? You need to make sure you're eating at least 25 to 30 grams of protein each meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks in between. Protein snacks in between. Is spotting normal in early pregnancy? It can be, yes. It could be implantation bleeding. How do I keep baby awake during feeding or wake him up for feeds? Maybe if you have like a blanket over him, take off the blanket or her. Layers of clothes, you want to take off a little bit of layers of clothes, but also just let him sleep. I live on Long Island Doula Association. Oh, nice. I never heard of them. You're welcome. Yeah, to keep them awake during breastfeeding, take off layers of clothes. Keep a hat on and some like socks, but usually when they're nice and cozy and warm with a cozy blanket like this one, it's hard for them to stay up. So just let them feel some cool breeze. But it's hard because it's so cozy for them to be sleeping on the breast. I have been a nanny for 10 years, so I'm excited for this next step. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. I am just doing the postpartum training for now. Yeah, that's a good idea. He's 2.5 weeks and was born prematurely. They want me to wake him up every feed, but sometimes he won't wake up. You might have to like play with him a little bit. Stroke his cheek. Talk to him. Put some music. Best prenatal. I like Ritual. I don't like to really say which is the best prenatal because everybody's different. What's good for somebody, for one woman, might not be good for another because sometimes depending on like your hormones and your genetics, one prenatal might make you nauseous, another one won't. So I would say you can start off with like Garden of Life or Ritual is a good one and see how it goes. And if it makes you nauseous, switch to something else. You're welcome. I am 13 weeks and I can't stay awake to save my life. Girl, take naps. Take naps. Let your body lead you. You need to sleep. You need to sleep. You need more rest now that you're pregnant because you're literally growing a human being from scratch. That takes a lot of energy. All of your energy is going towards that. So as long as you're hydrating and you're eating and, do a little bit of physical activity, like go for a little walk or do some squats or some stretching, take a nap. Hi, I'm having engorgement pain 4 days postpartum. Any tips to help? You can take ibuprofen. If you want to go that route, you could take ibuprofen for the immediate relief. In the shower, let some warm water hit your breast and then massage your breast with soap. It would be easier. You can look up lymphatic drainage on YouTube, lymphatic breast drainage on YouTube, and there's some, you can do those massages on your breast. Thank you for that, Kira. Thank you, my love. Thanks for your help. Good luck with everything. You too, my love. Let me know how your training goes this weekend. Come back. Tips on things to do to prepare for unmedicated birth. Download my online doula course. My online doula course doubles as virtual doula support if you want. So you have the option once you download my course. And my course on my website, you can see all the modules. I talk about grounding, breath work, nutrition, the spirituality of pregnancy and birth, how to breathe throughout the different stages, hypnobirthing, everything that you need is in that course. And then, like I said, if you want virtual support from me, you just send me an email. I'll send you my phone number and we can immediately start talking, and I will support you throughout your pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. So you can ask me any questions. We can FaceTime, we can get on a phone call. The best thing you can do is start right now practicing your breath work, grounding, download a hypnobirthing app. Christian hypnobirthing is my favorite. It's so funny because I tell women all the time, download the app ahead of time. And then what do? They don't download the app. And then when they start to feel contractions, they're texting me, I'm anxious, I don't know what to do. Did you download the app? No. And then last minute they want to download the app. Download the app now. Start listening to it every single day. This is like a marathon. When you are preparing for a marathon, you're preparing months in advance for endurance and stamina. It's the same thing. How's the best way to prepare for natural birth? Breath work. Practicing breath work is really, really important. And body movement is also very important. 5 weeks postpartum, debilitating. Thank you, Nesmi. I love you. 5 weeks postpartum, debilitating stomach and back pain out of the blue. Stomach pain, like muscle pain, or is it like your intestines? Did you get an epidural, Lynn? Hi, Ree. I'm 7 weeks. What would you recommend for prenatals? I like Garden of Life. I like Ritual. But like I said before, try one. You could try Garden of Life or Ritual. There's also Thorn. But like I said, you might have to switch it up just because not everybody can take the same prenatals. Some might make you nauseous, some might not. I'm having a C-section again. Okay, Jigga. How do you feel about that? What's the app for the birth control? It's called Christian Hypnobirthing. And you get like a free 1 week trial, and then you pay $7.99. Pay the $7.99. Invest in yourself, please. It's worth it. Okay, it's worth it. It's a daily practice of meditating and instilling affirmations into your brain, positive birth affirmations into your brain, which is really important because birth is 90% mental. If you can get control over your mental, you're 90% prepared. You can override the pain. Pain is mental. That's why epidurals are a thing, because epidurals block the pain receptors, right? So it's really a mental thing. Hypnobirthing is kind of like you're hypnotizing yourself to not focus so much on the intense sensations of the pain, and instead focus on your breathing and relaxing the tension in all of your body so that your body can do what the heck it needs to do. If you were in a coma and you were pregnant and you went into labor, your body would be able to give birth without you being conscious. So it's literally just about releasing that tension, surrendering, allowing your body to open up and do what it needs to do. And that's hard for us because we live in capitalism in a very stressful society that it's like it's hard for us to release that control and to release all the tension. A lot of us have a lot of stress and trauma stored in our body. And so preparing for birth throughout your pregnancy is super important. 31 weeks and having intense Braxton Hicks. Lindsay, make sure you're drinking enough water with electrolytes. Don't lift heavy objects. Rest your legs as much as possible. And do stretching. There's a YouTube channel called Pregnancy Prenatal Yoga TV. I would suggest you do that as well. But hydration is key also. And breathing. Smell the roses. Blow out the candles. You're feeling scared, Jigga? This is your third C-section. Do you have a support person that's going to be there with you for your C-section? I might end up getting a C-section too. So scared, baby breach. How many weeks are you, little kitty cat? What are your thoughts on natural birth after having a C-section? A VBAC? I love VBACs. There's two websites I recommend, the VBAClink.com and VBACfacts.com. They have a lot of good tips on VBACs. They have stories of other women that have had VBACs. They have fact sheets that you can print out and bring with you to your appointments and stuff, so you can discuss with your midwife or your doctor about the guidelines of having a VBAC. Oh no, I gotta get my charger. Ooh, I gotta get my laptop charger. What can I do for rib upper back pain? Stretch. Prenatal Yoga TV on YouTube. 35 weeks, Lido. You still have time for your baby to turn. Go to spinningbabies.com. Do inversions. Look up what inversions look like for breech babies. Someone made me laugh during labor, and that made us so much easier. Watch comedy during labor. Laughing, you know why? Because laughing produces oxytocin. Oxytocin is the love hormone. That's why whenever people ask me, I freaking hate the word induction. I really do. Oh, how do I naturally induce? There's nothing natural about inducing. There's nothing natural about forcing your body to do something it's not ready to do. Instead, you want to help your body produce oxytocin, the love hormone. The hormone that made you open your legs and make that baby is the hormone that you want to produce in order to start contractions and start dilating. Because when you produce oxytocin, your body knows that you are safe, that you are surrendering, that you're able to open up. And so producing oxytocin is really what you want to focus on. So having orgasms, not sexual intercourse necessarily, but having orgasms, clitoral stimulation, bubble baths, foot massages, laughing, singing, dancing, shaking your ass, crying even sometimes can help release all of that tension. So it's really important. I want to do delayed cord clamping. How does it work? You just let them know that you don't want them to clamp the cord right away. I have talked to them beforehand and look at what their body language is when you say that you want delayed cord clamping. Because some of them will say, oh yeah, we can do that. But like when it comes time to it, are they really going to honor that? Make sure you discuss it ahead of time. It's really important to know your birthrights. You have the right to refuse anything, and you have the right to refuse your consent for anything. So if you want delayed cord clamping, you just let them know, do not cut the cord. And that's why it's really important that whoever's going to be there with you, your birth partner, your doula, whatever, that they know so that they can make sure that they don't cut the cord too early. What do I do with extra saliva during pregnancy? Girl, get like a thing that you can spit into. It's a thing. How do you help people who have health anxiety once they become pregnant? Hypnobirthing, grounding, a lot of breath work exercises, grounding, visualization. I'm nervous as well. This is my third cesarean and I have 10 days left. Yeah, it's normal to be nervous, you know, it's major abdominal surgery. But I would also recommend you download the Hypnobirthing app and listen to it just to calm your anxiety, you know, and regulate your nervous system. It's called Christian Hypnobirthing. You can do all things. 19 weeks, but I get really bad pelvic and back pain. I still fit in my normal clothes. Are you stretching, Petty Mama? Are you stretching? Are you hydrating with electrolytes? Good positions to birth big babies in. Lunging, like a runner's lunge, squatting on all fours, never on your back, never on your back. But I desperately want to deliver next baby at home, so do it. Why can't you do it, Nia? The hormone you laid down to make that baby. That's the one. That's the one. My bile acid is also elevated too. Look into dandelion root tea. Please help with nausea. What can I take? Ginger ale, saltine crackers. There are herbal nausea patches that you can buy on Amazon. Vitamin B6, magnesium. You can get a prescription for Unisum, like Glass Rose says. It is safe, Glass Rose, but will it work? Not always, unfortunately. Severe nausea, if it's Hyperemesis gravidarum, I have a blog on my website with a list of recommendations, like homeopathic pellets that you can get. I'm trying to conceive and my period starts tomorrow. Can I take a pregnancy test today? It would be too early. I would say wait at least 8 to 10 days after your missed period. Postpartum question, nauseous and loss of appetite over a month. 5 months postpartum, not pregnant. Hormones? It could be hormones, it could be stress. Are you taking any iron supplements? Kitty, I think your comment got filtered. If you can retype it. Not a professor, but I took a, not a what? But I took a test a week before my missed period and got our first positive. Yeah, sometimes you can if you're actually pregnant, but sometimes it doesn't. Thoughts on when to deliver if you did IVF? When your baby's ready. If you did IVF and you know the date of like conception, I would download a moon cycle app and look at where the moon was when you conceived, and then count 10 moon cycles from there. That's a more accurate description of like your due date. I don't see why it would make you high risk unless you have like other issues or you're on any medications and stuff. No, you're not taking iron supplements, itty bitty. You need to take some iron. Look into Hemaplex. It's a iron supplement that's really good, and that can help bring back your appetite and also help with hair loss and the nausea. And also make sure you're hydrating with electrolytes. You can add Celtic sea salt with lime to your water, or drink coconut water, or add electrolytes. There's these packets called LMNT, that are really good. I'm 11 weeks currently and I'm sick. Is it safe for me to have chamomile tea? It's caffeine free. Yes, you can have chamomile tea. You can also have red raspberry leaf tea, nettle. They're really rich in iron and other minerals and vitamins. Alfalfa can also be really good. You can also make a tea with a red apple, red onion, and some ginger and some radish if you have, and drink that throughout the day to help you. When you're pregnant, you're usually your immune system is suppressed to make sure that your body doesn't reject the embryo. So it's common for you to get more sick while you're pregnant. I'm 14 weeks now. What's the earliest to mention cord clamping? Whenever you want. I mean, you can discuss your birth plan. Like I said yesterday, I'm not big on birth plans because things happen and change. What I'm big on is knowing your birth rights. Knowing that you have rights, knowing that you are a sovereign being and that you're there receiving a service. They're not the authority in your body. Hospital policies are not law. Hospital policies are for hospital employees, and you're not a hospital employee. So knowing your birthrights is really important. I created a birthrights ebook that you guys can download. It's on my website, and it lists all of your birthrights, and I have all of the laws that protect your birthrights. So I would recommend downloading that, printing it out, and bringing with you to your birth. Thoughts on VBAC after one C-section? Go for it, Monica. There's 2 websites I always recommend, the VBAClink.com and VBACfacts.com. They say your placenta begins to break down. Where are you? They say your placenta begins to break down and you should deliver by 39 weeks. Listen, ask them, when they say that, ask them, show me the study so that I can analyze the study myself. Oh, it pisses me off. It really pisses me off. It just makes me so mad. The percentage of the women that have deteriorating old placentas after 39 weeks is so low. It's not even funny. And they're basing a blanket statement for 100% of women based off of 2 to 3% of women. Get all the way the hell out of here. No, I don't care. No. Unless you have, your placenta has issues, you have medical issues that are indicated and are seen before that time. No. My first epidural failed. What are chances of this next pregnancy working? I don't know, girl. It depends on the anesthesiologist. Why do they tend to make girls give birth in their back? Because it's convenience for the doctor. That's why. Everything that they do in the hospital is not for your benefit. They don't prioritize the woman. They prioritize the doctor and the baby. Because as long as you have a healthy baby, they don't care what happens to the woman. And that's just the truth. Not all hospitals and not all doctors, but as a system, as a whole, yes. Is liquid IV safe to drink? I wouldn't drink liquid IV because it has too much sugar. That's why I like Element or ATH Sports. I'm 16 weeks. My stomach is so bloated. My bump is a lot smaller than my actual stomach. What? Why are you bloated? What are you eating? High blood pressure, elevated bile acid, diabetes, and breech at 35 weeks. And so you're having a C-section when? In 2 weeks? Birthrights, like what? Like your right to refuse any procedure, your right to refuse any medication, your right to move around, your right to birth in whatever position you want, your right to keep your placenta, your right to delayed cord clamping, your right to skin after birth, your right to refuse any vaccines for you or your baby, your right to say no to anything. When should one hire a doula in pregnancy? I would say as soon as possible. You want to get to know your doula, you want to build a relationship with your doula, and you want to make sure that you get the right doula. So you might have to interview a few doulas before you find the one that you want. I gave birth at 41 weeks. What about my placenta? Exactly, Stony. Exactly. I wish they would. Are you kidding me? I'm 34 weeks and 5 days and been having a tight feeling in my lower stomach back. Is that Braxton? Yes, that's Braxton, Mimi. Make sure you're drinking enough water with electrolytes. I think 2 weeks, waiting for this Thursday for lab results again. Okay. Download, little kitty, download the hypnobirthing app because I know you're nervous and anxious about it. But it's really good to de-stress and oxygenate your blood. So doing breath work exercises, listening to positive birth affirmations can make all the difference. I have been contracting at 35 weeks, not dilated. Yeah, those are probably Braxton Hicks. I don't know why. I'm assuming my digestive system is just that bad. I'm considering consuming mostly fruits. So yeah, you want to make sure you're not eating processed foods. You're not eating greasy foods. Maybe you're lactose intolerant, so maybe less dairy. Eat more veggies, more fruit, more protein. Definitely you want to eat fresh fruits for your fiber. Also, dates are really good. Eating a tablespoon of like coconut oil can also help. Drinking more water with electrolytes is important also. 36 weeks this morning. This morning, every time I wipe, I get wet down there. Could this be a leak? It could be. You could have a high leak. You could have a high leak where instead of the water breaking in the bottom where you get a gush, it could just be like at the top or on the side, and so you're getting like little drips. So it could be. Are you closer to 37 weeks? Thank you. I really appreciate you. You're welcome. I gotta get my charger. Oh, God. What in the world? Are doulas usually in the birth room? What do they do? My man's aunt is a doula. Yeah, usually we are. I mean, if she's like a birth doula, there's different kinds of doulas. There's full spectrum doulas, meaning they can do birth, postpartum, fertility, death doulas. So it just depends. But yeah, for the most part, yes, we are there with you during your birth, before, during, and after. You're welcome, Sheena. My lactose intolerance and egg allergy has stopped since getting pregnant. Just keeps me regular. Oh, nice. That's what's up. I had a client who went through the same thing and they ended up using a Foley balloon on her. Went through what? She wasn't dilating. You know, what I find interesting is that a lot of times there's like underlying reasons why you're not dilating, right? So it's really important to understand the process of birth and the hormones that are involved. When you don't feel safe, when you don't feel heard or seen, it's very hard for your body to produce oxytocin, which is the hormone that helps you to dilate. When you feel anxious, when you feel stressed, instead of feeling, relaxed and surrendering, you feel tense and you feel scared and you're in fight or flight. And so you're producing more, instead of producing oxytocin, you're producing cortisol, the stress hormone. And when you produce cortisol, you're not going to dilate, because that's a defense mechanism to protect your baby, because your body is like, we're in danger, we cannot dilate right now. If you look at mammals in the wild, if there's let's say a deer, if a deer is about to give birth, like let's say the baby's head is like right there, but they hear a noise, their body would literally suck the baby back in and close the cervix up until they get to safety. That's a defense mechanism. We're mammals. We operate just like that. If we don't feel safe, if we don't feel heard, if we are feeling stressed, instead of feeling love and feeling open and, releasing tension, it's very hard to continue to dilate. And so it's very, very, very important that you practice not just surrendering, but producing that love hormone. Balancing your body, your mind, body, and spirit. It's so important. And also body movement. Laying in bed all day for 30 hours, Yeah, it's gonna take 30 hours because you're not moving your body around. You're not helping things descend. You're not helping things move. Your pelvis is more malleable when you are when you're pregnant and when you're in labor. And so it's meant to be moved. You're meant to move. You're meant to like sensually move your hips. Again, how did you get that baby in there? The same way you got the baby in is the same way you're gonna get it out. The same noises that you made getting that baby in are the same noises that you need to use to get the baby out. But what happens, we're in an environment when we're in the hospital where we don't feel safe, we don't feel comfortable making those noises. Or you know how many times I've heard, oh, the nurse told me to shut up because I'm scaring the other patients. Bitch. You need to be able to growl. You need to get real animalistic. I don't recommend screaming out. That's our first instinct, is to scream out when we're feeling pain. But it's important to redirect that and use that energy and growl and like really moan and growl to help get the baby out. Anyways, that was my TED talk. A high leak is interesting. I started early labor at 34 weeks and have been contracting heavily. Whoa, at 34 weeks? That's pretty early. Are you having twins or? Hello, question. Is a doula paid by insurance or by the parents? Mostly by the parents. There are some doulas in some states that are sanctioned by some insurance programs, but I'm not one of those. I get paid directly by the parents. Just because being a doula is a non-medical profession, right? So I don't deal with medication, I don't deal with surgery, I don't deal with none of that. And so I don't want to be regulated by a system that I'm trying to change. I won't say dismantle, but I'm trying to change. And so I don't want their regulations imposed on me and to tell me what I can and cannot do. And I'm not doing anything that's like medical or anything like that. So there's no need for them to be in my business. And I'm not doing anything that's like medical or anything like that. So there's no need for them to be in my business. And so, yeah, as a doula, you're usually an independent contractor. And you get paid directly by the parents. Like I said, there are some doulas that they go through like a hospital program or an insurance program, and then you would just have to ask your insurance. I love that the love hormone helps with labor. It does. It's the love hormone. You have a blend, a cocktail of hormones that help throughout the birth. But for the most part, it's oxytocin. Which is why they say that Pitocin is oxytocin, and no, the hell it's not. No, it's not. Pitocin is man-made, and it is not oxytocin. Oxytocin and endorphins. Oxytocin are when it naturally produced by the body, you also produce endorphins. Pitocin doesn't do that. So when you have oxytocin, and then oxytocin helps your uterus contract, and then it helps you to dilate. So that can be painful, right? But then your body produces endorphins to help you deal with the pain. So it's like a beautiful balance. And when you do things to interrupt that, like with Pitocin or even an epidural, it messes with that natural balance and natural way of doing things. I'm 37 weeks and get back and pelvic pain every night. What do I do to help? You can do some belly binding, Cassie. I have a video on that on my TikTok. You can do kinesio tape. Make sure you're drinking enough water with electrolytes and stretches. There is on YouTube, look up prenatal pregnancy yoga TV and do those stretches every day. Be gentle on yourself. Don't try to do too much, but that can help. Hello, BJ. No twins. I am now 36 and 2 centimeters dilated, 90% of phase. Oh, okay. Yeah, you might have your baby like within the next 2 weeks. But also remember that like due dates are estimated. So if you count, I always like to count 10 moon cycles from from either when you conceived or your last menstrual period. If the moon cycle, if the moon phase was 50%, make sure you count like two, because you're gonna have 50% each month, so you're gonna count like the second one. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll make a video about it. Hello Ash, you're 21 weeks. How are you feeling? Could I be getting pains because I carry my 1-year-old? Yes, you can. Yeah, heavy lifting can cause the back pain too, but stretching and stuff can help you with that. Stretching, make sure you're drinking enough water, and don't lift heavy objects. I mean, I know you have to carry your baby, but the bigger you get, you want to make sure that you kind of ease up on that. Tired chasing my 3 and 1-year-old. Oh my god. Do you have any help, Ash? Do you have any family that's helping you? Anybody? Worried everyone is delivering early on my TikTok. They're delivering early? How early? Is it like, are they being induced? I just made a video, but we could talk about it here too. I spoke to my friend last night who gave birth last week, and I wanted to see how she was doing. And she told me she had groin pain, and I was like, why do you have groin pain? And she said, well, because my OB said that if I don't give birth by next week, that I would have to be induced. Girl. So then she was trying to do exercises to induce herself, and she hurt her groin because she did not want a medical induction. And I want to emphasize so much that you don't have to do shit that they say. You don't have to do anything. Don't let them coerce you with their language. Don't let them fearmonger you. Ask questions. They're not the authority in your body. They might be the authority in their office or in their fucking hospital, excuse my language, but they're not the authority in your body. They're not the authority in your birth. They're not the expert in your birth. You are the expert in your birth and your body. You get to make the decisions. You get to say what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. You don't tell me I have to do this. I have to. No. You're giving me recommendations. You're giving me recommendations. Okay? And so ask questions. What are the benefits? What are the risks? What are the alternatives? What are the studies that you're basing these recommendations on? And then I'll do my own research. And no is a full sentence. Hi, princess. Anything I should add to my registry? I mean, there's a lot of things. I would say focus more on your postpartum care. A meal prepping service would be good. There's actually a postpartum one that I follow on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'll repost them on my stories. Postpartum care box. I make herbal postpartum care box that has vaginal steaming, postpartum tea, a herbal tincture, magnesium flakes for an herbal bath. You might want to put on there a belly binding thing. What else? I guess bottles, diapers, rash cream, nipple butter. Oh, my nipple butter is also in my postpartum care box. Hubby, but we know how that goes. Girl, he better put his part. Shit. Work full-time and school full-time. You work full-time and you have school full-time? Lord. Why do you guys put so much on your plate? Most people said this group of babies are a month or two early. Really? Maybe the due dates were off. Well, we are in eclipse season, so yes, that's true. Groin pain is like pain down there in like your pelvic area. I got induced with my oldest, and second came a week early from due date. Yeah, because your body was probably like, I don't want to get induced again. Let me just go ahead and... Both babies breached day of. Time getting it. Any advice? What are you talking about, princess? So So I'm 1 year postpartum at PCOS, and after birth, my cycles were really regular. Now I'm 1.5 late. Did you take a pregnancy test, girl? Negative test. It might be the PCOS then. It could be, have you been going through anything stressful lately or what? Can you request a doula at the hospital at birth? I don't think they have I think some hospitals have doulas, but most of them don't have doulas. And honestly, I'm a little skeptical of hospital doulas because the whole point of a doula is to have a third party witness, have somebody that's not associated with the hospital at all. But if you get somebody that is associated with the hospital, is like, first of all, the ones that I've heard of, they only have like 2 in the labor and delivery room or floor. And so then they're like bouncing around through different clients, and it's like, what's the point? That's the same as just having the nurse there. Your doula's supposed to be there with you, focused on you, only you, the whole time. And like I said, they're supposed to be third-party witnesses, so it's like, who is their priority when it comes to policies and stuff? They're basically a hospital employee, so their priority is going to be the hospital, not you. My mom, mother-in-law, and family and friends will be helping a lot with meals after baby gets here. Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you think wearing a faja right after birth affects the body in any way? I would wait at least a week before doing the faja because you don't want to bleed out. You don't want to squeeze too much. That's why I recommend the Bencong belly binder, because it doesn't squeeze too much. Thoughts on those Chinese meals after birth? Heard it heals, but it's expensive meal pre-made. The Chinese got that postpartum care down packed. I'll tell you what. When I was in New York, I attended a few Chinese births, and they know what to do. A lot of warm soups, stews, porridge. They don't do patsicles because they don't do anything cold. They understand that you want to reintroduce warmth into your body. Because when you lose blood, you lose, your body temperature goes down because our blood is what keeps us warm. So they know that you have to reintroduce warmth into your body. So vaginal steaming, warming teas, warming soups, porridge, goji berries, dates, all of that is really good. Rice porridge, yeah. I've never had high blood pressure issues. However, I'm 39, 5th baby, and my BMI is over their recommendation. If you don't have high blood pressure issues, if you got your diet under control, I don't see what the problem is just because you have a BMI over their recommendation. Please. I've actually had a home birth client who had gestational diabetes, and she was able to keep it under control with her diet, and she would check her insulin, and she had a home birth, and she was overweight, but she was fine. Is it normal for OBs to do membrane sweeps without consent? It's normal, and it pisses me off. But yes, it's normal practice for them to do things without your consent all the time. Because again, they think that you don't know your rights. When you go in there and you don't know your rights and you don't ask questions, they think they can do whatever the hell they want. Are you in Raleigh? Yes, I am. Do I need to get induced because of my age? No, you don't need to get induced because of your age. If you are healthy, if you don't have any other medical issues, if you don't have preeclampsia, if you don't have high blood pressure, placenta previa, none of that, you're good. Now it's not. Like, why after a year does it want to get messed up? Hormones. Your hormones change. Did you stop breastfeeding or something? Did anything in your environment change? Relationship? Did you move? Did you change jobs? Any increase in stress? Your diet? Are you taking supplements or not taking supplements? I also get pain that feels like stretching in my belly button. What could that be? It could be just your round ligament pain. It could be hernia, a little, like if you have a little ball there. Just like I said, you can do kinesio muscle tape, put it on your belly. You can look up YouTube videos on pregnancy and kinesio muscle tapes so you can see how you tape it. But make sure you're hydrating. Hydration is really important with electrolytes. I've I've been so cold lately. Are you taking any iron supplements? The membrane sweep traumatized me. She didn't tell me what she was doing before. Are you freaking kidding me? And you know what the biggest disappointment is? That it's so hard to sue them for malpractice. But this is why it's important to know your birthrights. They're not allowed to do anything without your consent. That's so, ooh, man, ooh. That's why I always encourage minimize cervical checks. Because what the hell are you up in there for without telling me what you're doing? What? You don't need to look at nothing. If I'm not contracting regularly, what are you looking at? For what? I'm 36 weeks and 5 centimeters with a bulging bag. How long do you think it'll take to pop? Are you close to 37 weeks? Or did you just hit 36 weeks? Nope, nothing changed. Yeah, it could just be your hormones, Jessica. Taking a good multivitamin, like postnatal multivitamin, would be good. Ritual has a good one. I have it linked in my link tree. You could get 25% off if you use my link. How far along should I be when getting a doula, and how can I find one near me? I honestly recommend that you do like now. I don't know how many weeks you are, but as soon as possible. Because you want to make sure that you get to know your doula, that you build a relationship with them. Because they're going to be at the most intimate event of your life. So you want to make sure that you feel safe with them and that you can trust them and that you guys are on the same page about everything. Can a 4th degree tear ever fully heal? Just had my first 4 weeks ago. Oh, it can, but it takes a lot. That's hard. Were you laying on your back when you were giving birth? And did they give you an episiotomy? How do I make the baby move before my OB appointment? What do you mean make them move? Are they breached or like what? What do you mean? Yeah, she didn't tell me what to expect or anything, so me and baby ended up with an infection. Oh, hell to the no. You know, there's also patient advocates at every hospital. You should, if anything ever happens like that where they do something without your consent, patient advocate. And also you want to make sure that they put it in your chart that they did a membrane sweep without your consent. And you want to get a copy of that so that if you do need a lawyer, you freaking have evidence. Just had a chemical pregnancy, bleeding from that, so I'm taking iron pills. Okay, good. Are you in Raleigh, Brianna? Baby had to stay in the NICU for a week. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. They're like really pissing me off lately. And you know, this is nothing new. This is like, I've been a doula for 10 years and it hasn't gotten better. The only thing that has gotten better is that more women are educating themselves and more women are choosing home births. But like, I'm exhausted. I'm really exhausted. Just wanted to say you're amazing for helping listening to people. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day, Abby. I'm getting massive Braxton Hicks every day and a stretching pain. Do you think that means labor is near? 36 weeks. It's early. I mean, yeah, it's early, but technically you can go into labor at 37 weeks. 37 weeks is full term. So make sure you're drinking a lot of water, Giselle. Make sure you're resting a lot, eating yummy, nutritious foods. Eat a lot of protein. Don't lift heavy objects. 36 weeks and 5 days. Oh yeah, Pink. Any day now. If you want to get things going, then maybe do some vaginal steaming once you hit 37 weeks. Where are you located? I am in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm in Durham, but looking for a doula for the future. I don't know if you remember, but I had that loss in January. Yes, I do remember. Brianna, send me a DM. We can talk. I'm getting a car soon, so I can go to Durham. Any healing advice for postpartum, Princess? Wait, you gave birth? Yeah, I'm in Raleigh, Sheena. I'm 34 weeks getting induced at 37. I'm already 4 centimeters, but having so much pressure. And continue. I have postpartum preeclampsia. I don't know what to do. Cayenne pepper, princess. Cayenne pepper under the tongue. Drink ginger tea and practice breath work. Practice breath work. Really important. I'm pregnant with my IVF baby. Just stay positive. How long after a C-section do you think it's best to start drinking and smoking again? Never. Never. You're not going to get me to say when you should start drinking and smoking. I've been experiencing really bad chest pains for the past 3 days. I am 34 weeks. I mean, you're talking about smoking cigarettes? I've been experiencing really bad chest pains for the past 3 days. I'm 34 weeks. First time mom. Chest pain like your heart? You better go get checked out. And take some cayenne pepper in the meantime. But call your doctor. Yes, they gave me an episiotomy because baby has shoulder dystocia. Oh, God. So, episiotomies cause more severe tears. So, and if you were laying on your back, of course the baby's going to get shoulder dystocia because the pelvic outlet is so small. So, when you have a suspected big baby, or regardless of what it is, your birth position should never be laying on your back. It should always be standing, running lunge, or squatting, or on all fours. So if you were to have a doula there who was knowledgeable about changing positions, we would have told you to flip over, or to put one leg in front of the other, or do some type of, there's a Gaskin maneuver, there's a Webster maneuver, like there's different things, but like to just do episiotomies, oh my God, I'm so sorry. No questions, just going through IVF, need all the baby vibes. Sending you good baby vibes, Lil D. What does the postpartum vitamin do? It can help you regulate your nutritional needs to help regulate your hormones. But also, if you have PCOS, Jessica, chasteberry is a herb that's really good. I have a tincture that has chasteberry in it. It's called the Womb Healer. And also look into myo-inositol. Myo-inositol. Thank you, princess, for the friendship necklace. Oh my God, you gave birth on the 17th. Congratulations. How do you feel? Well, you have postpartum preeclampsia, but also, princess, make sure that if you have like any numbness in your legs, or if you have blurred vision, or if you're fainting and stuff, go get checked out. Don't just stay home, okay? Thank you. I feel just like you. My boyfriend's sister was told her baby was small. They induced her and she had... Oh my God. When planning a home birth, is it completely necessary to have a midwife and doula, or just a doula? For a home birth... So there's something called a free birth. A free birth is when you don't have any medical assistance. A midwife would be your medical provider. So she's medically trained to, like, for example, stitch you up, check your blood pressure. Well, her birth assistant will be checking your vital signs and all of that. She would be medically trained to see if there's any issues to transfer you to the hospital. And she can give you Pitocin postpartum in case you're hemorrhaging or whatever. A doula is a non-medical professional. So if you want to have a free birth where you don't have a medical person, you can have a doula, but you have to understand that a doula is not a medical professional. So she will probably have you sign some waiver forms, liability forms and stuff. So just know that. But if you want a medical professional, you need a midwife. And if you want birth support, you need a doula. The midwife won't be your birth support. She's really there to make sure that everything goes good, to help, with all the medical stuff. She might know some tips and tricks and stuff. But for the most part, she's not going to be there doing counter pressure, like giving you water in between, or, none of that. A C-section, it breaks my heart that her experience was that. I'm so sorry. Yo, any natural induction ideas? No. Natural induction is an oxymoron. There's nothing natural about trying to induce your body. What you want to focus on is help your body produce oxytocin, which is the love hormone. It's the hormone that got the baby in there when you were having sex. That's the same feeling that you want to have when you're preparing for birth. So have an orgasm. You don't have to have intercourse. You could do clitoral stimulation. Take a bubble bath. Get a foot massage. Go for a walk in nature. Dance, laugh, cry, sing. Anything that will help your body produce oxytocin. Your opinion on Tdap and RSV vaccine while pregnant. My opinion is not a recommendation. My opinion is that unless there's like an outbreak in your area, I don't see why you need it. And also, where are the studies that it's safe during pregnancy? That would be my question. Send me the link to the studies. That would be my question. 40 weeks tomorrow. Congratulations, Rain. You're almost there. I'm in the hospital right now. You are? Oh, I wish I was there with you, princess. Also, getting in touch with a pelvic floor physical therapist after birth help. Absolutely. You know, in France, they automatically give you a pelvic floor physical therapist appointment postpartum. And here is not even covered by insurance. That mag made me feel like trash and super jumpy. What mag? Once I heal fully, I can't wait to take your training and you be my mentor. Oh, girl, he was 7 pounds, so she stopped breathing. I saw it coming, but it wasn't my place to go on a tangent about it. Oh my God. You know how pissed off that would make me? I'm very fortunate that like everybody in my family, we're all on the same page. We are all on the same page when it comes to like birth and the medical system and all of that, because no, they're not gonna get us. Does pushing actually feel like you're using the bathroom? I heard the pressures felt more in the core. Yeah, it's different. It's like, think about like when the muscles that you use to stop yourself from peeing midstream, those are the muscles that you're gonna use to push your baby out. So instead of like, you can kind of differentiate the muscles from your anus and the muscles from your vagina. So it's really good to practice Kegels. It also is a good practice to like put fingers up there and try to push them out. Or if your partner is with you, you can try it with your partner. Try to push out your fingers. So that's where you want to direct it. And you want to wait until your body feels like bearing down. So in that sense, it's like when you have to poop, you don't have to force yourself to poop unless you're constipated. You can just like, your body gives you the sensation and then you push with that sensation. It's kind of the same thing, but you're going to direct it in your vaginal muscles. So practice Kegels, practice stopping your urine midstream. Those are the muscles that you want to use. 38 weeks, but measuring 2.5 weeks ahead. Should I be concerned for the baby? Get a second opinion. And also your due date might need to be changed, might need to be updated. Not everybody ovulates at 14 days. So you might need to change your due date. Any advice for managing HG? I have a blog on my website and I list a bunch of homeopathic pellets and also other tips and tricks. I would go look at that. I got the Tdap with my son who is 1. I'm 17 weeks now and not getting it again. How come you're not getting it again? Magnesium. Oh, the magnesium. They gave you magnesium or you took magnesium? I was thinking about seeing a pelvic floor therapist too, even after loss. I highly recommend it, Brianna. Yeah, what was your experience? Oh, you had no reaction. They want me to start seeing a doctor instead of my midwife because I had a C-section 5 years ago. What the? 5 years ago? That doesn't make any sense. Go to the vbaclink.com and vbacfacts.com and look at the guidelines, the actual guidelines for vaginal birth after cesarean. 5 years is enough time for scar tissue for your incision to heal. Yes, I was talking to a French doula on Sunday and learned so much. I know. I never got any vaccines during pregnancy. I didn't know you had to get them. You don't have to get anything, honey. You don't have to do anything, guys. Everything is a choice. The way that they word things with coercion and fear-mongering makes you feel like you have to do things. You don't have to. It's a very individualized thing. Like, it depends on where you're located. Is there an outbreak in your area? Your own health, your own practices. Where do you work? You know what I mean? You can't just blanket statement everybody has to do something. No. That is coercion and fear-mongering. It's a new relationship. Trust when I get around her more, she'll hear my mouth. Any reason why you're not doing it? They want me to start seeing it. Yeah, there's an urge to push. No one talks about. My first was out in 3 pushes. Yeah, it's called bearing down. You get that bearing down feeling. Can you deny the glucose test? You can deny anything. No is a full sentence. They gave me the magnesium drip. Why did they give you a magnesium drip? It might be that her particular practice does not allow midwives to attend a VBAC. It could be, but then you could just find somebody else. Mm, 30, 40, what? 26 weeks. I get my cerclage removed at 36. What are the odds of carrying to 40? I don't know the numbers, but you could possibly carry to 40. It also depends what you do once you get the cerclage removed. You know, don't lift heavy objects. You know, rest as much as possible. Don't stress. Drink plenty of water with electrolytes. To prevent seizures since my blood pressure is high. Oh, got you. What are they doing now? What are they suggesting for postpartum blood pressure issues?